dare you hit me? Now I'm offended by you.
Welcome to a video on how to get good at the DustTrust combo, the prince of bullshit combos in Undertale Judgment Day. Players who are able to master this two-phase wonder can dominate pretty much 3/4 of the entire fucking character roster before they can even have a chance to fight back. Let's get started. The DustTrust combo is a combo obtained via the Mirrored Realm, and the last one obtained before. You know what? The combo requires 5,000 wins, DustTrust sword, DustTrust's jacket, and determination. The combo has 7 dodges as well as 777 health. Because it seems like DustTrust shares the same favorite number as a certain fish in this game. The combo also has 1 karma negation. The weapon in this combo is DustTrust's sword, because DustTrust managed to steal it from his house while he was sleeping. The weapon deals 325 damage and has a standard cooldown. The damage is on par with the X-Event knife. However, this weapon also has a gimmick. If you manage to get 3 hits in on the enemy, you'll trigger Bloodlust, causing you to gain 1 dodge. There doesn't seem to be a cap on this, so if you encounter a multi-phase enemy who is AFK, you can rack up the dodges like a fucking bank heist. Because of how this passive functions, you'll want to focus more on dodging and only attack when it's safe to do so, unless the son you are facing is pathetically easy, though at that point, you've already won the fucking game. Alternatively, if you're out of dodges, Bloodlust can assist in rushing, allowing you to take 1 extra hit mid-fight while you're ripping the enemy to shreds. Of course, this passive doesn't matter in survival fights. Moving on, the ability for this combo is the slash. By pressing R, LT, or L2, an exclamation mark will appear on the enemy's position, and soon after, a purple slash. The slash deals 150 damage and 1 dodge if you manage to land it, and has a short 8-second cooldown. Of course, since this is Undertale fucking Judgment Day, you do not aim this attack. Instead, the slash will spawn where the enemy once was. Given the short cooldown, this is an ability you're going to want to use at all times. Even if the slash doesn't land, it'll still keep the pressure going on the enemy if you keep using it. However, there may be some occasional times where you don't want to use the slash just yet. For example, if there's an Undyne combo or a Sands to Magic combo, you should probably wait until they stun the enemy with their abilities before you slash. In addition, the slash does not grant the enemy invincibility frames, allowing you to follow up your attack immediately afterwards. Keep this in mind if you want to get the most out of this ability. However, everything I just described about this combo only takes place in the combo's first life. This is one of the determination combos that actually have a special effect on the soul's ability, and the DustTrust combo has the most unique. If you lose your first life, you'll straight up die, losing any and all items you've attained. However, with the power of bullshit plot armor, you'll be brought back to life and enter your second phase. This phase has entirely different mechanics and abilities, so let's talk about them. The DustTrust combo's second phase has 1000 health and 90% damage negation, the most out of any combo in the game. However, while you are extremely tanky in this phase, you are not tanky forever. This is the only combo in the game that is, for the most part, a survival fight on the Kara team, as your health will constantly be draining. Your health drains by 10 every second, so you'll want to make the most out of your phase while you can. Once your health drops to 300, your damage negation will be reduced to 60%, but will increase the lower your health is. However, you may have noticed that you're not alone in your plot armor revival. When this phase activates, a random person on your friends list will follow you around. Every few seconds, they'll spawn a green bonus zone where the enemy once was, dealing 125 damage or 1 dodge if the enemy happens to step into it. As this is a passive ability, it essentially forces the enemy to be on the move in the same way that the slash does. Similarly to your sub-phase damage reduction, how often they spawn the bonus zones increases the less health you have. Instead of your DustTrust sword, you instead get a 300 damage punch with a hard cooldown. While the damage is slightly less than your first phase, the abilities this phase has more than makes up for it. The ability, or rather, abilities for this phase is the Slaughter. This has 2 moves in one. because having all of these aforementioned passives clearly wasn't enough for this fucking phase. Every time this ability is used, it'll cycle to the next one. Like the slash, both abilities are triggered by pressing R, LT, or L2. The first ability are the blasters. This causes you to spawn 2 blasters that are larger than average, firing towards where you clicked. The beams deal 350 damage or 2 dodges per tick. This is essentially just Last Breath combo's ability, but better as it's 2 blasters instead of just 1, on top of the added damage. This allows you to snipe the enemy from a distance like you're the sniper from Team Fortress 2, or get a head start on the enemy's dodges or health. The second ability in the spinning bone. This causes you to spawn a large ass spinning bone whose size is only rivaled by Dust Belief. This spinning bone deals 150 damage or 1 dodge. The large scale of the spinning bone causes it to cover so much area, and has the highest potential to multi-hit the enemy out of everything this combo offers. After using Slaughter, it'll go on a surprisingly short 6-second cooldown. The optimal potion for this combo is the health potion. While you can't use items during phase 2, you're able to use potions right beforehand to gain their effects at the start of the phase. Therefore, if you use it right before you're about to die in phase 1, you'll be able to get healed for the beginning of your second phase, allowing you to be even more fucking tanky for the duration. While speed potion isn't the most optimal, it can reduce the cooldown of phase 2 slaughter, allowing you to fire your attacks even faster and possibly have 2 spinning bones present at the same time. In terms of strengths, the DustTrust combo is an extremely strong combo that excels at pressure and area control. All abilities in this combo are very powerful for offense with various reasons as to why. While phase 1 acts as more of a traditional combo, the Bloodlust passive as well as its starting 7 dodges allows you to take multiple free hits, useful for rushing the enemy. Phase 2, being the only survival phase in a combo, is extremely tanky for the duration, allowing you to go up against even some of the highest damage dealers in UJD. However, the second phase may not last long if the enemy focuses all of their fire on you. Both phases can be tapped by True Karma, Code Corruption, or Hatred, which is a huge blow to phase 2 especially as both deal at least 10 damage per second and adds on to phase 2's quick health drain. Lastly, despite its tanky nature, DustTrust phase 2 and Era 404 can both reliably take down this combo with little effort, given the fact they are X tier characters with absurd amounts of damage. Thanks to this guide, you'll now be the master of cornering the enemy into absolute oblivion and tanking shit you know you probably shouldn't be able to. This Get Good was voted on by my community, so be sure to participate in my polls if you want to see a specific combo get covered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.